The decision that changed everything? Most people think aviation stories are about machines, engines, systems, technology. But the truth is, the most important part of any flight is human. Because long before an aircraft reaches the sky, someone makes a decision. And sometimes that decision changes everything. This flight was not supposed to be special. It wasn't long. It wasn't risky on paper. The crew had flown this route many times before. The aircraft was reliable. The passengers expected nothing more than a smooth ride and a normal landing. But conditions were not ideal. Weather was unstable. Visibility was limited. Small variables were stacking up, not enough to cancel, but enough to demand attention. Inside the cockpit, the atmosphere was calm, professional, focused. That calm can be powerful. It can also be dangerous. As the aircraft prepared to depart, one of the pilots noticed something subtle. Not an alarm, not a failure, just a feeling that something wasn't lining up the way it usually did. Performance numbers were acceptable, systems were technically within limits, but within limits does not always mean safe enough. He paused. This was the moment that mattered. Because aviation does not punish bad intentions, it punishes hesitation. He spoke up, not loudly, not dramatically, just enough to be heard. The other pilot listened. And this is where many stories end differently. Instead of dismissing the concern, instead of rushing forward, the crew slowed down. They checked again. They questioned assumptions. They challenged what looked normal. Minutes passed. Passengers waited. Pressure grew. But inside that cockpit, something powerful happened. Authority shifted from habit to awareness. They chose to delay. They chose to double-check. They chose to accept inconvenience instead of uncertainty. Later, investigators would confirm that nothing catastrophic was about to happen, but something could have. A small anomaly, a minor condition, a thin margin, the kind that rarely makes headlines, the kind that becomes deadly only when ignored. That flight eventually departed. It landed safely. Passengers never knew how close routine came to becoming something else. And that's the point. The best aviation stories are the ones that never become accidents. Another crew, another flight, another situation. Different aircraft, different conditions. This time the problem appeared later. High workload, rapid changes, multiple inputs at once. One pilot was flying, the other was managing systems. Information came in faster than decisions could comfortably follow. In moments like this, the human brain does what it always does. It narrows. Focus locks onto one task while others fade into the background. A parameter drifted. Not enough to trigger an alarm. Enough to matter. The monitoring pilot caught it. Heart rate increased. Time felt compressed. He could assume it would correct itself, or he could interrupt. Interruptions feel uncomfortable in cockpits. They break flow. They challenge confidence. But he spoke anyway. Clear. Direct, unemotional. The correction was made. The aircraft stabilized. Later, when the crew reviewed the flight, they realized how close they had come to a very different outcome. Not because of a failure, but because of human limits. Aviation doesn't demand perfection. It demands honesty. Honesty about fatigue, about doubt, about uncertainty. Some of the most inspiring moments in aviation don't involve heroics. They involve humility. A captain who listens, a first officer who insists, a crew that chooses teamwork over ego. Every safety improvement in aviation exists because someone, somewhere, once made the wrong decision or the right one at the last second. Modern cockpits are built around one principle. No one flies alone. Not because skill is lacking, but because humans are human. We miss things. We assume. We get comfortable. And comfort is where risk hides. The stories that inspire pilots the most are not about flawless flights. They're about moments when doubt was allowed to exist, when questions were welcomed, when continuing felt easy, but stopping felt right. Because courage in aviation is not pushing forward at all costs. It's knowing when not to. Every passenger who walks away from a flight unaware of what almost happened is proof that safety works best when it stays invisible. And every pilot who chooses to speak up, slow down, or reconsider becomes part of a quiet legacy. A legacy built not on accidents, but on decisions. Decisions made under pressure. Decisions made without applause. decisions that no one tweets about. But those decisions are the reason aviation remains one of the safest forms of travel in the world. Not because machines are perfect, but because people keep choosing to do the hard thing when the easy thing would be to continue. And somewhere, on a flight you'll never hear about, someone is making that choice right now.